Stephen Meadows here with Mind Your Business. Thanks for tuning in to the bonus episode, Tidy Up and Declutter. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this straight away. I am not the tidiest person in the world. I'm by no means gross or dirty, but if you see my office, you'll know that I don't necessarily have a place for everything and everything in its place, as my grandmother used to say. However, I do know that there are many benefits to decluttering. So I do it every now and then just to sort of get everything back to a baseline of clean and tidy. So I hope this episode helps give you some tips and tricks to maybe declutter a little bit in your life. You don't have to hang on to everything, and sometimes that clutter is keeping you from being productive. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Have a great day and make amazing choices.
6 best benefits of decluttering. Decluttering is a prime subject of conversation on talk shows, in books, and across social media. What are the best benefits of decluttering? We know by now that tidying up our living space feels great, but what other benefits does it offer? And are there enough of them to make decluttering worth the effort? You always know what to wear. If everything in your closet is something you know you love and it fits, putting together an outfit takes much less time. The added benefit, you know you're always going to look fabulous. You can quickly identify items to put on your shopping list. Shopping becomes much more straightforward when you actually know what you have. At a glance, you can see what you're missing, whether from your wardrobe or household goods. This means you already know what you're looking for before you leave the house, and you'll wind up making a lot fewer impulse buys that you'll later regret. You get pickier about what you buy. In taking the time to decide what matters within your household, you get used to asking those same questions when considering purchasing new items. Questions like, will I love this in a couple of months? Will I use it often? Am I willing to give up something else to make room for this? Do I truly need it? Will it bring me happiness when I see or use it? Taking care of treasured things makes them last longer. When you keep only things you love, you'll find you're treating those items with more respect. Possessions managed well tend to wear better and will last much longer than belongings handled carelessly. Cleanup takes no time at all. With fewer items cluttering up your life, making a room tidy requires much less time and effort. You'll also find it easier to put away things and have a clearer idea of where things belong. Decision-making is easier. You've already decided which movies and books to keep based on what's important to you and what's worth saving. That means making decisions about what to read or watch becomes easier. You already know whatever you still have is a winner. Is it any wonder decluttering is good for us? Remember, a home that consists only of the essentials and those things you love is a peaceful home and one you can enjoy when you're there. 5 simple ways to build decluttering into your life. Decluttering isn't something you do once and you're done with it forever. If such were the case, no one would feel overburdened by the stuff since most of us have decluttered our homes at some point. The key to decluttering is realizing it needs to be a mindset, a set of habits you develop that not only cleans the extra stuff out of your life, but keeps the clutter out as you move forward. Keep reading to find out 5 simple ways you can build decluttering into your life. Where's that donation box? A lot of the time, people tend not to get rid of things because they have nowhere to go with it. Creating a donation box and leaving it somewhere accessible, like the floor of your closet, means getting rid of things is as easy as pitching the object into the box. When the box is full, put it in your car immediately so you can drop it off at a donation center when you're out on your usual errands. Do it now. If you find something you no longer want, get rid of it immediately while you're thinking about it. Toss it out or put it in the donation box so you aren't tempted to keep it later. Why put off what's only going to take a moment to do? Try a timer. Make a deal with yourself. Rather than spending an entire weekend trying to work through your closet, every day set a timer for 10 minutes and see what kind of dent you can make into the project. Making tidying up a regular part of your day will turn it into a habit designed to keep clutter out of your life for good. Make sure everything has a home. If you don't have a place to put something, how can you ever put it away? Find a home for every object you want to keep. Can't find one? Evict something else you don't need to make room. Know when to reorganize and when not to. The biggest mistake people make is in thinking they can organize things as they declutter. The problem comes when you start wasting time organizing things which you're not even sure if you're going to keep. Getting rid of things first and then spend your time on the organizational side of things will help optimize your time. Decluttering can become a way of life. Good habits start with doing the same things over and over. By spending a little time every day tidying in small ways, you'll soon build a mindset of change, impacting your home in positive ways for years to come. Get rid of these 6 things cluttering up your craft stash. Any crafter cringes when you talk about cleaning up their craft stash. But let's face it, there's so much clutter in your craft corner, you probably have a hard time finding what you need or find yourself buying multiples of the same thing because you don't know what you have. Since you truly do not need a dozen tape measures, read on for a quick list of stuff to declutter out of your stash. Paper items. Paper clutter can very quickly take over a craft room, especially if you're into scrapbooking. Sort through odds and ends in your stash and ask yourself what you're likely to use. Toss out the scraps you thought before were too big to throw away. They aren't, and all the excess you're never likely to use. No longer scrapbooking? Free it to someone who is, or toss it out. Even if you start scrapbooking again, you're not likely to want the same things anymore. Things to write or draw with that have lived past their usefulness. Dried out markers or paint, broken chalk, brushes not washed out properly, non-working pens, or calligraphy tools with broken nibs are all things to toss immediately. There is nothing you can do to salvage any of these items, and it'll be easier to find a utensil you can use when you next look for one if you get rid of these things now. Tools or supplies you no longer use. There's no shame in walking away from a hobby if it no longer gives you pleasure. If you've had enough of knitting socks for a lifetime, consider donating the yarn or other supplies to people who love the craft, like a local nursing home. Get rid of any tool you haven't used in the past 2 years. That goes for yarn and fabric as well. Broken items. It should go without saying, but if it's broken, toss it. That's especially true for anything electrical in nature, with worn or frayed cords. Don't risk a fire for the sake of making something. Projects left unfinished for years. Ask yourself if you're ever likely actually to finish the project. If the answer is no, out it goes. Duplicate items. Got caught up in buying an object when you couldn't find it last time? When you find the original, toss the new one in the donate box. Getting your craft stash under control is a great feeling. Imagine being able to find what you need when you need it. Imagine just how productive you're going to be once you're neat and organized. 6 steps to a decluttered home office. Nothing hurts productivity and peace of mind more than a cluttered workspace, especially when you work from home. How do you keep your office under control? Start with these quick and easy steps. Deal with paper clutter before it happens. By having an inbox on your desk where mail and other paper items go, you cut a lot of the mess out that tends to spread out over every work surface. You should use this box only for new work waiting for your attention. If you have a lot of projects, try keeping the accompanying paper clutter in folders out of the way, for example, in a desk drawer until needed. The key here is to keep things under control right from the start. Clear your desk. There should be very little on your desk other than what you need right now to get your job done. That means keeping it bare of everything except the phone, your computer, and what you're working on right now. Everything else should be put away until you need it. Remove the odds and ends. Is your desk space full of knickknacks or other items which serve no purpose? These kinds of things can be distracting. Get rid of them or place them somewhere more appropriate, such as a shelf where you can arrange them into a beautiful display if needed. Reconsider paper use. A lot of the paper items in an office are unnecessary. Be kinder to both yourself and the environment by paying attention to unnecessary printouts. Get in the habit of reading things on a screen instead. Even things like a travel boarding pass don't require a printout so long as you have them on your phone. The less paper you use, the better. Tidy the drawers. Desks become the repository for so much clutter. Take some time to go through each drawer. You'll find most of what you've tucked away are things you don't need at all. Clean the floor. Out of sight doesn't necessarily mean out of mind. Those items you tucked under your desk out of sight of visitors are still there to bedevil your peace of mind. The floor is for your feet, period. The rest is clutter. Toss it or put it away appropriately. You'll be amazed at how good it feels when you clean up your act. Remember, a clear desk is a sign of a clearer mind.
Hey guys, it's Stephen Meadows. I just wanted to take a quick second and tell you about something really exciting. If you struggle with trying to find great social media content and are sick of searching and searching for stuff to post every day, I've got a solution for you. I've joined forces with a marketing company, And we have created myfreesocialcontent.com, and it does exactly what it says. It provides you with free copy and paste social media posts every month. You get about 35 to 40 every month, totally free, sent to your email. These are not just prompt calendars. These are not just things to give you ideas of what to post. It is literally copy and paste. It has the post text, hashtags, and the URL. So you just drop it into social media and you're ready to rock and roll. Go to myfreesocialcontent.com and sign up. It's totally free, no gimmicks. Enjoy.
Kick clutter to the curb once and for all. Decluttering can feel like an eternal problem. No matter how many times you set out to do it, it seems clutter tends to overtake you again. If this is your problem, it's time to reconsider first how you see clutter. It's time to kick that clutter habit to the curb once and for all. Read on to see how you can be clutter-free. Change your point of view. If you live in a disaster zone, like an area that experiences floods or wildfires, chances are you already have a plan in place of what you would grab if you needed to evacuate in a hurry. If you don't, then this question is for you. Which items are the most important things out of all your stuff? Questions like this are sometimes hard to answer when you're staring around the room and seeing all the things you've worked hard to attain. If you're having a hard time choosing what you'd take with you, get out of the house and sit down where you can make a list without looking at your stuff. If you have a tornado or fire and lost everything, what items would you want to replace first? What would you mourn the most? Whatever's on your list is what you should keep. The rest is just clutter. Don't burn yourself out before you even truly begin. Trying to do marathon decluttering sessions are a great way to crash and burn. Instead of exhausting yourself on a massive overhaul, add decluttering to your daily routine. Set a timer for 15 to 30 minutes and declutter until it goes off. That not only keeps you from wearing yourself out, but it makes a game out of tidying. Grab some boxes. Sort everything in the room into 4 boxes. Keep, get rid of, store, toss. By adding the box for storage, you give yourself time to think about whether you want to retain an item you're on the fence about keeping. That can be useful if you're trying to distance yourself from something with emotional ties. Revisit the storage boxes often, and make a point to sort through items with the same 4-box method at least once a year. Getting rid of a clutter habit isn't as hard as you think. Staying dedicated to working through your stuff will create a new mindset and great habits to keep you from falling into the clutter trap ever again. Decluttering doesn't necessarily mean saying goodbye to sentimental stuff. We all have those items we would hate to lose, whether it's an old collection of love letters or a cuddly stuffed animal you slept with as a child. The problem is, even those items become clutter when there's too much of it. How do you tidy up without losing those memories? Make use of the scanner. When going through old papers and essential documents, start by deciding which items are worth keeping. Scan and upload those documents to a service that will hold a backup you can't possibly lose. Remember, scanning absolutely everything leads to digital clutter, though, so only choose what's essential. Next, decide if you still need the originals. If you don't, shred everything once it's safely digitized. If you must keep originals, put them somewhere safe, like a filing cabinet, fireproof safe, or a safety deposit box at your local bank. Ditch physical copies of music and movies. We're in the age of the internet and have the cloud at your fingertips. Why keep movies and music around in a tangible form? The individual boxes are small, but when you put them all together, they take up a great deal of space. Put what you want to keep online and donate or sell those old DVDs and CDs. Now your collection is available wherever you are. Take pictures. Sentimental objects might seem a little harder to declutter at first glance, but they don't have to be. Start by taking lots of pictures of those items with emotional attachment. Once you've taken all the photos, choose the objects you absolutely can't part with and put the others in the donate box. Only keep what can fit into a smallish box. Some quick tips? Download your favorite books instead of owning physical copies. Now you can read them anytime, anywhere. Give family heirlooms to other family members who might appreciate them more. You can visit the items again when you see that family member, while at the same time blessing them with something they'll cherish. Remind yourself your vintage objects are worth cold, hard cash to the right person. If you've already had your enjoyment of an object, let it go to bless someone else while you pocket the profit. Letting go of a physical object doesn't mean letting go of the significance of an object or even the experience of having owned it. It means keeping the important aspects of it, whether it's a picture or some other record of the memory, without needing the clutter of the object itself. 5 hacks for staying decluttered. Decluttering your home is an easy part of the equation. Keeping it decluttered can be another matter entirely. How do you manage the mess before it happens so you can keep your home feeling the way it does after tidying up? It starts with building some good habits geared towards staying decluttered. Here are the hacks to get you started. Put decluttering on your calendar. Scheduling time to declutter your home every day makes it part of your routine. You'll get in the habit of tidying as you go. Set a timer and permit yourself to stop it when it goes off. Even 15 minutes a day will help keep your clutter under control. Make rules regarding new purchases. You just bought a pair of new shoes? Great. Now it's time to get rid of an old pair. Making rules about removing an item from the house when you buy an item keeps things from building up all over again. Generally, it's pretty easy to find a possession to remove, as often buying something new indicates certain displeasure over something you already own. If the thought of getting rid of something makes you cringe, maybe you didn't want that new pair of shoes after all. Don't keep the donation item. Keep a donation box at all times so you and your family toss in unwanted items consistently. Once that box is full, hustle the box off to the donation center. The longer you keep it around, the more likely you are to create excuses as to why you still need the object in there. If you can't get there immediately, at least put it in your car trunk so it's out of sight. Take pictures. Nothing's more heartening than a before and after shot of an overly cluttered and messy room that you've tidied. Use those pictures for inspiration when you're feeling overwhelmed by this decluttering process. Remind yourself how good it felt when you finished decluttering another room. Say maybe. If you're not sure about whether you should get rid of an item or not, put it in a maybe box somewhere out of sight. If it turns out you don't even miss the item after a couple of weeks or longer, it's probably time to let it go altogether. If you find yourself looking for the thing, put it back. These hacks will help you stay decluttered once you've already gotten the process started. If you keep them up, after a while, the hacks will become automatic. Imagine the difference it'll make when you're free of all those things that have been holding you down. Five items you should throw out right now. Every home has clutter, whether you're conscious of it or not. Some things are so small or insignificant that they get overlooked when you're on your tidying up spree. These are the things that are the most insidious, seeming to multiply when you turn your back. Read on to find out several items you should throw out right now without even stopping to think about it. Expired items. Whether you're talking about old antibiotics you didn't finish or the spices in the back of the kitchen cupboard, expired items are everywhere and can harm you if you use them. Food items. Check your pantry for old spices, dry goods, canned goods, or any packaged food. When done, take a minute to go through your refrigerator and ditch the expired condiments like ketchup, mayo, hot sauce, or salad dressing. Spices. Don't forget to sort through your seasoning packets, as well as the boxes and bottles of seasoning. Medication. Prescription medication can be especially harmful, but over-the-counter things expire as well. Contact your pharmacy for instructions on how to dispose of items correctly for the safety of pets and small children in your care. Makeup. A lot of bacteria lives in old makeup. So even if it's something that hasn't expired, if you've used for several months, it might be time to toss it. Writing instruments. Toss out non-functional pens, dried-out markers, broken mechanical pencils, or those well-chewed pencils populating your desk drawer. Socks. Whether they're missing a match or have a hole in the toe or heel, it's time to let them go. No, you're not going to fix them. And its mate is probably long gone. No one knows where it went. Grocery bags. While reusing grocery bags is a great idea, just how many do you need? Keep a reasonable number for reuse and recycle the rest. Old reading material. Cull the magazines and release any books you've finished reading and are not likely to read again. A lot of places love donations of these items, such as shelters, jails, and nursing homes. Share the love of a good book with others, rather than keeping your space cluttered. By paying attention to the little things around us, it's easy to find a lot of clutter that you might sweep under the radar. A quick toss of these items will free up more space than you think and leaves your world much tidier. 5 secrets to keeping a tidy house with kids. The moment you have kids, you'll find yourself in the world of a special kind of clutter, one that will take up space on every surface and cover your floors in no time flat. From toddler blocks to Legos, you're going to be dancing through the minefield of tiny toys unless you do something fast to get things under control. Where do you even begin? Recognize everything starts in the ground rules. Tell your kids they can't play with something new without first putting away the old toys. That helps you keep things from getting out of control right at the start. Have a place for everything. Every toy and craft supply should have some regular storage space, whether you're using a fancy system of drawers and closet organizers or recycled shoeboxes. The important thing is to make sure anything new that comes into the house has someplace where it lives. Try sticking to the practice of getting rid of something old before bringing in something new to keep from running out of space. Set a supervisor. By creating a cleanup routine without song or dance, the tidying routine becomes fun. Include your child in this process, though. Make them the cleanup supervisor in charge of ensuring everything is put away properly. Kids love having authority, which makes this aspect of the game appealing. If you have multiple children, make sure to rotate who's in charge so everyone gets a turn. Create personal bins for belongings. Designate a box or basket with the child's name on it for their stuff. Keep it somewhere central in the house so both you and the child have a place to store items during the day. Make a practice of putting lost items in the basket, and make your child take their basket upstairs to their bedroom at the end of the day to empty it and put away the items stored within. That keeps you from excessive clutter all over the house. When all else fails, take things away. The child who refuses to clean up sometimes needs a little tough love. Items left out after being asked to be picked up should be removed by the parent. Don't be afraid to make the child earn back the toy by doing extra chores around the house. The important thing when dealing with kid clutter is to remember your child needs to be part of the cleanup process. Teaching them good habits now about how to take care of things is going to serve them for their entire lives. Top 5 tidying tips for everyone. With so much excitement about decluttering lately, it's easy to become overwhelmed and not know where to begin. Rather than quitting before you start, how about trying these simple tips to help you tidy up your stuff and by extension, your life? Make the most of your drawers. By being able to fold your clothes correctly, you'll be able to see what you own at a glance without needing a massive walk-in closet. Try the Marie Kondo method of folding your clothes first into a long strip and then make it smaller by folding it in half and from there into thirds. By tucking the tiny bundle of clothing upright in your drawer, you can find things quickly and store a lot more in a small space. Know what you own. Work first with just one type of clutter by dumping everything of one kind together in one place. Seeing things together makes it very clear what you have and don't have. That way you discover where you have a surplus of the same item, making it easy to get rid of the excess. A place for everything and everything in its place. By designating a spot for everything you own, you know just where to put it when you tidy up. If you can't find a place for it, you have to ask yourself if it's something you genuinely need. If so, ask yourself if another item needs to go to make room for it. But where's the joy? If you're not sure about keeping something, ask yourself how you feel about the item. Things with negative connotations need to go. Only keep what makes you happy when you see it or use it. Start on what's easy. When trying to decide about things, begin with the easiest category. Clothes are generally the simplest as your decisions have natural parameters. Does it fit? Is it still in style? Do I like wearing this? Next, go to books and movies, getting rid of things you're not likely to want or enjoy again. From there, tackle objects in the kitchen and other rooms and evaluate as to how useful things are. Leave the sentimental items for last, as by this point, you'll have gotten this decluttering thing down pretty well. The key to tidying up is getting rid of the extraneous objects around you. After all, you can't clean clutter. From here, it's a simple matter of putting away those things you still love and enjoy.
Hey, one more thing before you go. I just wanted to tell you really quickly about an amazing service that I think you'll love. If you're in real estate and you are tired of trying to figure out social media content, I have got the thing for you. I helped a friend of mine develop a company called Gnome Marketing Group, and they offer Facebook page management for an incredibly low price. So basically, how it works is you sign up, you make them an editor on your business page, and they will post 12 different posts per week. So it's 2 per weekday, 1 on the weekend each day for you. You don't have to do anything. They have hashtags and everything. It's really great. And it's incredibly cheap. If you go to knowthegnome.com/coupon, you can sign up with my coupon code Steven45 and get it for $45 a month. That's incredibly cheap for someone to do all your social media posting for you on your business page. Again, that's Know the Gnome, KNOWTHEGNOME.com/coupon, and use my coupon code Steven45, STEPHEN 45, $45 a month. It's $30 off. It's an incredible price. I hope you take advantage of it. It's an amazing service. Have a great one.